streaming. We are starting streaming now. The stream begins. It begins. I'm only 15 minutes late. Oh no, I'm late. I'm 15 minutes late and it's gonna destroy the world. Hi. Hello humans. I'm shaking a beverage. Hola humans. Let me just check my settings one sec really quick. Pow filters. Suppression, good, expander. I'm going to turn the expander on. We're going to see how that goes. Okay, well. Hello, one concurrent viewer. How are you today? Hello, Batu Hunderman. You must have been that initial first concurrent viewer. Good morning. Let me go ahead and grab a polly and put that up because I haven't done that yet. I do have an idea for a poll. What is one skill you wish you had? Let's poll. And I'm gonna put a couple in there. I'm gonna put draw, music, fix. I'm gonna put plumbing, or housework, or handy. No, I'll be more specific. Fix plumbing, fix electrical, you know, stuff like that. Nope, there was someone before me. How dare they? How dare they come before the Batuhan Deman? Exercise is a skill, I would say. What else is a skill? Public speaking? That's a big one that a lot of people don't have. Reading or speed reading. Speed reading. Fast typing. What else? Starting conversations. That's a skill. Navigating conflict. All of these are skills. Hello, Hixar. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Daily Brew. It's Brew 17. It is Saturday. I am exhausted. I was up way too late last night. Essentially, I was up last night fixing a sink. Our sink it drains poorly, and it's been draining poorly for quite a while. And things came to a head last night as we were working on prepping for today. Today is Friendsgiving. Oh, I have to grab... That's why nobody's in the polling. I haven't grabbed it. Fucking silly. Stupid, silly idiot. Post today's polly. Pin message. There you go. People, go get the poll. Go hop in there and do the thing. There you go. Go do the thing. So I was up kind of late because our sink wasn't working, and it finally came to a head because it was like, well, we really need a sink that works. And so I grabbed the tool that I had purchased a little while ago, which was an auger. It's an auger, you spin it through. And just basically took charge of the situation. Was like, all right, get all these rugs and shit, get these out of the way because there's gonna be dirty ass gray water coming. And I took apart the whole thing, the whole trap under the sink, which is poorly constructed, by the way. Our sink is not to code, which sucks. But I took it all apart and I cleaned it all the fuck out. And I ran the auger all the way down, like 15 feet down into the drain, and crushed a couple of major blockages, pulled it all out, cleaned it all up, and we have a sink. And we have a sink. We didn't have a sink, and now we have a sink. So that's a moment of usefulness and a moment of when you turn competence into action. And something that happened that I think is kind of obvious that it would happen, but something that happened immediately after I did it. I've been getting some odd vibes from a couple of the people in the house, some like mild hostility, which I think was not specific. It was just generalized, and it was, I think, born out of frustration and like stress because, well, we've got a thing that's going on. It's going on today. It's called Friendsgiving, and we're gonna have a bunch of people over. And so the people who run the house, they're cooking, and they've been cooking for a couple of days. And it's like it's not just fun. They do it because they enjoy it, but it's not just fun. It's like for a purpose, and there's a deadline, and they're they're freaked out a little bit. Hostility from what? No, just in general, like some tension. Um, it doesn't behoove me to get into specifics because the specifics don't matter. Just some snappiness, some snapping at each other, and then the demonstration of competence and the fixing of a thing that we all need. Totally fixed it. Like totally changed the attitudes of the people around me toward me in the moment, which is quite interesting. And they switched from, oddly, given that it's Thanksgiving, from standoffishness to gratitude, genuine gratitude. More so than purchasing a thing for somebody or giving them a gift or anything. Doing something and showing that you're capable of doing the thing and doing it for no apparent gain other than to help others really affects your relationship with those others. So that's a cool these are things that we all kind of know, right? But to get it directly and specifically confirmed and demonstrated was very helpful. Could be worse, could be sexual tension, but that might come later when friends arrive and alcohol is consumed. I doubt it. I doubt that will that will be an issue with these individuals. I think they're totally fine on that front. But I would welcome some sexual tension in the house. That would be fun. That would be quite enjoyable. I have a date on Tuesday. Weird. Fucking strange. Met girl. Have a date. Is that more for the D&D game? What? Is which part more for the D&D games? Sexual tension? There haven't been any. So, row. Anyway, I wanted to put up this polly and see what if anything people have been clicking and putting in. Starting conversations is up. Having fun doing chores. That's good. Yeah. Kuleris, I would say that the answer for having fun doing chores is like podcasts or audiobooks. Because the chore itself, while I find myself quite capable of getting into repetitive motions, for example, I quite enjoy folding laundry. It's one of the chores that I really genuinely enjoy doing. I used to hate it, but I quite enjoy it. So you can get into that mode of doing the thing and just enjoying it physically, and being mindful in the practice. And that's what I would really recommend is moving toward a mindfulness practice of some kind where you're actively thinking about the thing that you're doing instead of allowing your mind to wander. And that really helps ground you in the thing, and really changes the way that you view work, I think. But that's a big step, and fuck it. Who cares? I don't really care that much about the mindfulness practice. Audiobooks and podcasts are the answer. Because when I'm listening to an audiobook, I directly find myself looking for things to do to occupy my hands so that I can continue listening to the audiobook. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Need to add more fan service to your D&D. Dude, my D&D has some fan service. My half-elf paladin is he's essentially has a sworn oath of lustiness is basically where he's at. He's an Oath of Glory paladin, and his oath, like he got tricked into making an oath by a girl who is like a girl who's like a younger, lesser goddess. It's all a mirror reality to his real existence because of some things that I won't like out him for these things, but it's a mirror reality to his existence in a lot of ways. The whole being tricked by the feminine into a binding contract of some kind that you can't get out of. This is the person who is a father of an almost 3-year-old. So do you see where I'm going with this? You get tricked by the feminine into having to take an oath that binds you and changes the way that you have to view the world. But he's essentially an Oath of Lust paladin. His goddess was Diona Tremariel, who I made up, who is a daughter many ways removed of the Moonweaver of Sehanin, and so is part of the goddess of night and such. But Diona Tremariel, her whole thing is she's the goddess of the first chill. She's the goddess of like lust at first sight, and then that sort of builds out into midnight trysts and stuff. and sort of one night stands. Basically, he worships the goddess of one night stands. Is the character that he built, which is excellent. Yeah, you should read What Happens Inside the Dungeon. It's kind of similar. The main character gets stronger through sexual perversion, and she hates it. There are a number of hentai manga that are down that same thread, so I wonder if this is one as well. This comes up as manhwa, and it does come up on Batoto. Okay, that's fun. This is cute. This is cute and fucked up as hell. Gonna just skip a bunch of chapters in. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the loosey-goosey art style. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep, that, she's just sucking some dick. All right, good for you, girl. Get it, get it. Get it, girl. It's hilarious to read. The friendship dynamic is great. Read Metamorphosis. Cyberjoker, do you think I haven't read 177013? I know the fucking number by heart. It's actually my favorite piece of drawn media, or up there. I think that Metamorphosis is one of the most impactful pieces of media ever generated. It's bonkers. That shit hurt me. That shit hurt me, and in the best possible way. And I think Schindel is an absolute genius for what he did in that piece of literature. It's also sexy as shit until you read the whole thing, and then you got some problems. I highly recommend, if you go and read it, do not masturbate to it. Although that's part of the experience, but go for it. What are some good podcasts that aren't the Daily Brew? Huberman Lab Podcast. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Music too. I watch them on YouTube. Shit's boinkers.
Welcome to the...
Shut up. Full playlist. This one. I just want to give you the full playlist of the episodes. Listen to this. Shiro Taku. Bam. Damn, I think it's great and awful too. Yeah, it's great and awful. It's a devolution into destruction. It's a person losing themselves. It's beautiful. It's a beautifully written tragedy. You know, we forget that there are a couple of kinds of stories, and one of them is tragedy. And we watch and we find and we listen to and we experience tragedies, because you know what? Tragedies are real in our real life. They're fucking real. And everybody that I come anywhere near and I talk to seriously has got some tragedy in their life, like really close. So it's kind of like the Me video about porn addiction. It's actually quite like that, except that it's from the feminine perspective. It's what happens when a young woman is turned is molded by people who don't care about humanity. How about? It's really, really striking is what Metamorphosis is. I mean, it really puts me in an emotional state just thinking about it. And it's been a while since I've read it because, well, in part I haven't been looking at pornography for a while now. And that's been pretty good for my brain in general. Has been not looking at pornography for a while. It's been really good. But I think if you're going to look at pornography, you might as well look at some of the greatest works of art known to man, and Schindel's works are up there. They're also, I mean, there's some chaotic, crazy, tentacle shit. Better than Oyasumi Poon Poon? Well, I haven't finished Oyasumi Poon Poon. And so it's like, well, if I were one chapter out from finishing Metamorphosis, I wouldn't think it was all that shit. Since I've finished Metamorphosis, I think it's all that shit. So we'll see once I've finished Poon Poon whether I think that Metamorphosis is more interesting than Poon Poon. So what's your plans for your first date with this girl? I'm actually letting her make the plans. I gave her a couple of options of things that I'd like to do. But she expressed a desire to be, why did you read it? Ask Hui Nguyen. Because it's the most recommended manga in existence, and because it's hot. and porn exists, and I like it, just like you like it. Like sexual stuff makes your brain go ooga booga. Yeah, like truly. Why did I read it? Because it's porn. Um, and it took me a couple of times to get through it because you might say I finished a few. It's very hot porn, and that's the point. That's the whole point. It's temptation all the way down, man. For real, for real. What's your plans for this first date with this girl? So I will go back and mention that again. This date will be interesting. She's a little bit older than I am and is a programmer. But sort of watching the situation. I'm basically letting her take the reins because she wanted to. And has expressed domness, and we'll see how that goes. It might very well be like a hard, immediate no from me. But I'm gonna go on the date anyway and see how it plays out. I think I'm actually probably going to dislike this person quite a bit. That's my guess, is that I'm not going to enjoy their company. And so then there will come a decision point, which is whether I try to escalate with somebody that I'm not actually interested in, or whether I allow their advances as well. But we'll see. That's all supposition. So plan for the date. Don't really have any. We'll figure it out. We'll go somewhere and do an activity and maybe share a drink. Because she's a programmer? No, because she's expressed being dom. Met through the dating app or in person dating app. Dating app. So that's worse. No, Beck, she dom because she has expressed domness, which is odd and interesting because I am also dom. I don't fit the subby mentality. So we'll see. It might be, there are no dumb programmers. That is objectively false, my guy. Holy shit, Cyber Joker, the falsest thing you could say. No dumb programmers? Fuck off. There are no dumb programmers. All you have to do is look at all of the, look at all of the companies that go under on AngelList, and you realize immediately that there are tons of dumb people trying to make companies. They have skills. Yeah, they have skills. That doesn't mean they're smart or well-directed or capable of parsing information effectively. It means that they were capable of memorizing. That's what we test. That's what you need to get a programming degree. Your actual ability to analyze code or analyze anything is so far beyond secondary. It's even in really good institutions. It's quite easy if you're just industrious and conscientious. I wouldn't say memory is key in programming. Yes, it is. It's learning a language. You're incorrect. You are incorrect. Sorry. Memory is absolutely key. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. It's not exactly rote memorization. I understand, and you need some level of acuity, but what you really need is the same things that get you through any of school. It's conscientiousness and industriousness. Okay, but it's not like medicine wherein the memorization is key. See, that's funny because like even in medicine, I mean, yes, medicine memorization is key, but it's also it's analysis, and likewise, there are a lot of stupid doctors. There are actually a lot of idiots who are doctors. I don't mean IQ, I mean idiot doctors. I mean people who don't know what the fuck is going on and can't parse information, and who are only good at the rote memorization. They take a while to get my meds from the pharmacy. Time for you to go read Nana to Kaoru, a Dom manga, to learn about some more Dom stuff. Don't mind if I do. Nana to Kaoru. Japanese erotic romantic comedy manga series written and illustrated. Okay. Next door neighbor. Ooh. All right. Oh, wow. Woof. Woof indeed. Inu. Puppy. Holy shit, this is spicy. I'm a fan. I am a fan. Yes, I will read this S&M manga. I will happily read that shit. Oh my god. Yoinks. Jinkies, Scoobs. Nanato Kaoru that's great. I need more BDSM manga in my life. I didn't even realize that I should be doing that. Best S&M manga. Looking for good S&M manga. Yep. Uh-huh. I read Nanato Kaoru a few years ago and I loved it. I'd like more. We all are brother is the first comment. Hilarious. Sundome. Oh. Bingo. That's all that there's a ding. Mistress story? Well, let's see. Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna go with no. That's not the one for me. Oh, that's Okada. Wait, is that Kazuto Okada? Itsu Tenshin Danai. Okay, a bunch of interesting pornography that I actually quite like the art of. Okay, cool. Well, I'll be diving back into some pornographic content now. More cat than dog. Fully looked at. I was fully looking at a girl who was in a leather bikini and dog ears going woof in the frame. So I was talking about dog. Is it hent or ecchi? Yes. It seems like a yes all around. This is very sick. I cannot wait to read through some of this pornography. Or arrow manga, you might say. Ecchi TBH, not much nudity. Yeah, fair enough. That's still close enough. Nana Tokaoru, read online. I don't want to read it on Manga Park, but I will. But I fucking will if I have to. Shite. Fuck. Oh god. Oh my. Alright, well, I'm gonna close that and look away. Wow! What a start! Alright, so I'm gonna go read all of Nana and Kaoru now. Any manga websites recommended? No. Manga Dex? Batoto? I would recommend, not a site, but I would recommend Tachiyomi is an app that you need. I just posted what it's spelled like. You need that app because that's how you read the manga from all the places. Just get different extensions for the sites that you like. The classics would be getting manga decks and hentai and a couple of things. Imo Sundome is a really good comic about BDSM relationships. The characters are great and the art is amazing too. Not a manga though. Oh, a comic then. Fine, fair enough. I don't care. Media with story and also sexy drawings. Happy, 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 happy. Big floopy taters. Sorry. That app is so good that I needed to uninstall it. Got addicted to hentai. Yeah, for real, man. Being able to pull up and look at the, 40, 50 new hentai that drop every day. Every day. Like 40 to 50 new hentai of various kinds. And of course, if you don't have filters down, you just see it all. Doubt and hentai is on... Why would you doubt that? I'm telling you that it's on Tachiyomi. Why would... What? I have base Tachiyomi and it has all of the hentai. Yeah, it is on there. It absolutely is. You cannot find it on the App Store because it's a third-party app because it has the ability to access pornography. You go to tachiyomi.org/download. No. No, it is only on Android. Yes, this is true. But it's not on the App Store. Tachiyomi iOS. There's Yak Reader, YAC Reader. Yeah, that's the one that comes up. But mostly it's a manager with support for the files and not for being exactly the way that Tachiyomi is an online live reader. So get wrecked, Apple users. Shh, you know what? That's good. T about to fall down the rabbit hole whilst streaming live. Yep, man. Yeah, just devolve into a shit mess of sex energy. Perfect. It's exactly what we want to happen. You know what? That's good. Yeah, so that you don't have to download it. That's probably good for you anyway. You don't need it. You don't need to go to the promised land where there's infinite pornography. It's just not necessary. Oh yeah, I'll just update on that. In general, my sleep is great. I was up way too late last night, and I still woke up before 9 a.m. this morning. Should I try to restrain? S. Alam, Timo is talking about Tachiyomi, a manga app, which allows you to access a lot of hentai if you'd like to, and so became addicted to that. Should I try to restrain my fetishes and keep myself vanilla? No. No. Here's why. It's a really simple answer. Repression doesn't work. Ever. It just hurts you. It just hurts you. And then here's what happens. It's like if it's putty, right? If you're putty and you try to squeeze and to hold yourself together, what happens to the putty? Well, it doesn't get squeezed into your hand. It squeezes out the sides. And that means it squeezes out in ways that you cannot control it. Okay? So your fetishes and your sexual proclivities, if you don't explore them and deal with them and do so in safe ways, you will end up doing so in unsafe ways, or they will eat into your being. It's one or the other. This is why when you get hyper Puritan, very repressed people, they are miserable. They're miserable. Repression doesn't work. Repression doesn't work. Just avoid certain things that are harmful. Be wary. Use things in moderation. Fetishization and sexuality is not wrong at all, but do it in normalized and consensual and socially valuable ways, in ways that make you feel better, not worse. So if you seek out your fetishization through like empty sexual energy and pornography and spilling your seed, you might say, and jerking off to nothing, beep 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 boop 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 boop. Connected. Okay, the truth of the matter is this. The truth is this. There are 8 billion people in the world. Plus. And about half of them, unless you're bi, in which case almost all of them, about half of them are of the gender that you're interested in. And about like a quarter of those are in an age range that you might be interested in. What percentage of those do you think are kinky in ways that are somewhat similar to the ways that you're kinky? The answer is a small percent, but even a small percent is millions and millions of potentially attractive, healthy, in the right age range human beings. Millions of them. How the fuck are they going to know that you want to do to them what they want you to do to them unless you're open and honest about it? How the fuck are they going to know? If your kink is, I want to get shit on my chest, which is some people's kink, there are people who want that. Crazy, but there are people who want that, and you can find them. But you'll never find them if you're walking around restraining your own fetishes and not talking about them to anyone. Because you'll never meet anybody who you'll never broach that barrier. You'll never find out because you're too busy with holding it. There's that stupid fucking comic about the blue people. Blue people romance comic. Fucking shit, what? Damn, I don't know where it is. No. No. I don't know. So there's this comic that I've seen it once or twice in some format. It's like there's this guy walking around being like hiding that he's blue, and he paints himself to hide himself from being blue or whatnot. And then he walks right past this girl, and he never even realizes that the girl is also blue because she's also wearing a coat of paint. And both of them just feel like they're so alone in the world because they're walking around with their masks up. It's that idea. If you don't let your mask down and share what you actually really care about and resonate with in the world, why would the world give you what you want? Why? If you haven't even started to admit that you're seeking it to people, why would they be ever able to help you? Or to help themselves by realizing that you have what they want? Wow, that's true about... Yeah, we walk past each other, just thinking that everybody around us is somehow not human or struggling the way that we are. Tachiyomi is hent, doesn't have manga. I don't know what that means. Tachiyomi is... Okay. Like when this date of tease ties him up on their first date and pegs him, never know, he may love it. I don't mind it. I don't mind play in the buttses. I don't mind it. I'm not a huge fan of it, frankly. I'm gonna stick to NATO, okay? You stick to NATO. You did say you prefer to be Dom. I do. I lean Dom in general. Are you following the World Cup? Nope, don't give a shit. Don't give a fuck about sports. Deal. You may like being Dom instead. That is not the case. I've experimented, man. I have experimented with these things, and I know where I'm at. Why not? Because I don't fucking like sports. I don't care. They don't matter to me. They're irrelevant to my daily existence in every possible way. I just don't care about them. Unless I'm playing them or there's some reason for me to care. Like I'll follow sports that I engage in. I follow weightlifting because I'm intrigued by it. But barely do I follow weightlifting. I don't really care. Sports don't have an appeal to me. Art has an appeal to me. That's just a differentiation between people. Some people really, really are attuned to competition and competitiveness. And I'm not. I'm just not interested in it. What about sports manga and anime? Some of them are great. It really depends. It fully depends. You watch the weightlifting Olympics. Which one? I've watched a lot of them. What about sports manga and anime? Yeah, I do like those, but those are art. They're using the sports as a framing device and storytelling device to tell a narrative of overcoming obstacles and building friendships and relationships. So really, sports manga have almost nothing to do with sports. For example, if you watch Hajime no Ippo, which I think is probably the best sports anime that I know of. There are a few more that are up there, but Ippo boils it down, man. Like Symphogear is my favorite shonen, but Ippo is my favorite sports anime, I think. Well, Ippo is not a story about boxing. Ippo is a story about getting back up after you've been hit. That's what the story is all about. Top to bottom, bottom to top, all the way through. It's about getting back up after you've been hit. Have you ever watched or read Ashita no Joe? No, it's fully very much on my radar. I pulled Ashita no Joe against other old things, and the thing that won was Gundam. If I recall correctly, that's how this went down. So, unfortunately, Gundam is long, so I haven't gotten to Ashita no Joe yet. But it's very much on my radar. Like, so very much on my radar. Ping Pong is top shelf anime. I agree. Isn't your favorite sports anime the one with the girls battling with their butts? I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely a fun manga or a fun anime. I really like Keijo. I really like Keijo. I think it's very good. I think it's a very high quality production, actually. Does Gundam winning mean Gundam all the way till Witch from Mercury? I don't fucking know. No, probably. Because there's way too much Gundam for it to all be anywhere near good. There's no chance, right? There's no chance that it's good. Did you watch or read Hajime no Ippo? Watch. Yo, Solar, what up? How you do? What that wind do, dude? You ever read Real, the wheelchair basketball one? Nope. I see one of the most popular of all time was Baki. Yeah, because it's about fighting. And big muscle boys. George Morikawa is a master of his craft. Tomino Gundam alone is quite a bunch. Gundam is a series. For the longest time, I thought it meant giant robot. No, Gundam is specifically a series. It's just that it's such the core series that it's what people call all mechas. Do you know One Outs? I've seen One Outs. I enjoyed it. It's not as good as the other things that I really enjoy, which are the ones that I really enjoy. I mean, Akagi is One Outs. Akagi equals One Outs, but better. Like Kaiji, yeah. Akagi equals One Outs, but it's better. It's the same idea where you get like the super mind game character, but yeah. I have to watch Kaiji. I guess I've seen a little bit. Somebody called this out that I had it on my Mal, and I really don't remember having watched it. So I went and I removed it from the Mal because there's no reason that I should have it there and rated. I don't remember it. Maybe I'll get back into it. I'll remember it, but yeah, we should watch Kaiji because Kaiji's got some lessons that I'm missing. Anyway, let me turn back to the poll that I put up and see what's popped up. Not procrastinating by Cyber. Okay. Well, that's a tough one. Procrastination is a complicated construct, and it's something that a lot of us do, and a lot of us have gotten really good at doing, you know, putting stuff away and putting stuff aside. It's definitely one of my demons, is procrastination. But it's a really fightable demon. Because the answer is really simple. And all of the tips and tricks and tools are all fucking bullshit. All the do this to stop procrastinating, do this to this, that. It's all fucking bullshit. It's not useful. Because, well, procrastination is the result of friction. There's a thing that you have to do, and honestly, you don't want to do it. Even if you rationally want to do it, right? You're like, I need to do this, and I know that it's hurting me that I'm not doing it, and I know that I'd like to do it. You can still stare at the paper that you're supposed to do, or the room that you're supposed to clean, or the thing that you're supposed to take out, or whatever. You can stare at it for forever and think really hard about how much you're supposed to do it and get nowhere. And what you'll actually do is your brain will deflect. It's like you're a river going forward, and you hit this obstacle that's a rock, and you part around it, and you deflect around from it. And you just are like, God, trying not to look at anything. And there are some underlying things to examine whether you have the symptoms of ADHD, or, as Dopamine Cloud just mentioned, executive dysfunction, where you're not doing what you need to be doing. But the big thing is this. The big recognition, I think, is this. Willpower ain't shit. Willpower doesn't mean anything. Motivation is for losers. Action, and only action, solves the problem. Do the thing. Do it right now. Break it down into the smallest pieces that you can, and do one of them. And then make a habit of doing the thing. Every fucking day. Every day. Do whatever it is that you're procrastinating on. EC says, just do it. And yeah, that's that stupid Shia LaBeouf meme. He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to be motivated. You're never going to be up for it. You're never going to be set up and good to go. You have to go now. And it doesn't really... I think a lot of us spend a lot of time... Do the thing, Julie, says Varric. Exactly. Do the thing. Just do the thing. A lot of the time, I think we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that we don't step forward into the wrong direction, right? Because we feel like there's this very straight and narrow path in front of us. That's like, oh, if I go any way too far this way or any way too far this way, I'm gonna die. And to some extent, that's true. But you start out with like 180 degrees of direction, right? Here's what I think is true. There's about 50% of the action and inaction that you could do leads you backward, and backward is down. And about 50% of it leads you forward, and forward is up. Okay? I don't give a shit where you're going as long as you're going in the 180 degrees that are forward. And as you take a step forward, your vision will narrow. The moment you start moving, your vision will narrow. Literally, physiologically, your field of vision, when you start to put yourself forward and start to move, it will narrow and you'll start not seeing things in your peripheral and you'll get further away from the bad stuff. And your goal set, the set of things that you think you should be doing, will immediately go from the 180 to way less, to way less, to way less. And you will stumble around and oscillate. You'll get too chaotic and freak out a bit, and you'll get too rigid and try to restrain yourself too much, and you'll go back and forth and you'll freak the fuck out, but you'll zoom in and you'll hone down until you're oscillating just a little bit, and nothing can knock you off of your course, and you're headed towards something worthwhile. But the start is the start. The first step, and then the next step. You have to do the thing. I find something needs to click for the ball to start rolling. I can genuinely feel it bubbling up, but this may not apply to regular procrastination. It does, actually. So that's something that helps me click something into place, which is that I was listening to specifically Huberman, neurobiologist at Stanford, okay? So there's my background here, and I'm going to paraphrase. We like to think that once we're calm enough and set and stable, that's when we should go and do the difficult thing. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's actually a ramping up of stress that leads us to doing the thing. Moving toward the thing is the most stressful moment. The moment when you decide, for me, I think about it in these terms, the moment that I decide to go slay the dragon is the hardest moment. Once I'm on the horse and I've got my armor on and I'm just going. It's just the process. I'm just there. I'm stepping into the cave. I'm wielding my sword. I'm fighting the dragon. And so, when I see a beautiful girl at the gym and I am compelled to go and talk to her, the moment where I go from, well, maybe I should just leave her alone, to walking, taking a step toward her, because once I've taken a step toward her and my eye line is on her, what am I going to do? Walk toward her and just like, nope, never mind, just walking away now. Well, fuck me, right? Like, I'm just going to walk up to the dragon and go, ha, just kidding, dragon, bye, later. No. Once I'm moving. But it takes stress to get up to that level. It takes some adrenaline. It takes some like, some prep. It's the exact same thing as getting into the cold shower. You don't get into the cold shower calm, right? The shower is cold, it's freezing, it's pain, it's right there in front of you. And you want to calm yourself down so that you're regulated before you step into it? No, you want to amp yourself up. You're like, all right, let's go. And then you go, right? The same is true for everything, for anything that you're procrastinating on. An essay. Amp yourself up. Don't get all calm and chilled out and like, yes, I'm just going to relax my way into this essay. Get fucking stressed. And that's why deadlines work too, is because as you get close to the deadline, if you're a consistent procrastinator, I used to be this way, you'll get close to the deadline and your stress level goes up. It's just slowly building and you're getting worse, man. Things are getting worse, man. It's like not going okay. You're getting worse and worse and worse. And it gets to a point where you're like, fuck, I don't have enough time to even start this essay. And then you start. And then it flows from you and you're done. And it's like, and you're dead at the end of it. And you're all fucked up because you screwed up the whole cycle. Because you know that if you had just started earlier, it would have been better. But it was the actual inclination of stress that led you to overcome the friction between you and the thing that was difficult. I use cold showers to relax, not during them, of course, but I feel very relaxed after a cold shower. Absolutely. We experience our peace relative to our previous state. So a cold shower spikes your adrenaline really hard. It auto spikes your adrenaline quite quickly, and you have to be very, very amped in the shower. So as soon as you're out of it, first off, your body warms itself up, right? And you engage all of your metabolism, and it's going so that you get warm, and it auto regulates its homeostasis. But in the process of bringing your adrenaline levels back to baseline, it's a very relaxing process. And I'll bet that if you look at your adrenaline levels before the shower and fully after the shower, the thing, like, you'll probably drop below the baseline, right? Which is probably really good. The biggest excuse I use to procrastinate is feeling sleepy. That may just be something that you've trained into yourself, like your body attempts to sleep in order to avoid the thing. It may also be, and this is quite possible, you may just not get your sleep. In which case, I think that's probably the deal, you know? And I would go go into the basics. It's in the description. Go to the basics and watch the video on sleep. There should be two. There should be two. I think. Because there should be one that sleep is your superpower. Good. And then, no, I'm gonna grab. Oh no, the morning sun. Yeah. Okay. Sleep is your superpower and the morning sun. Go watch those. Go watch those. Fix your sleep. Fix your fucking sleep. And then Salam says, over the past few months, I keep asking myself, do I actually like torturing myself by not sitting down till the deadline is knocking due to how frequently it happens? Yes. You've actually addicted yourself to that state. You experience like a growing parasympathetic arousal, like excitation, right? A parasympathetic excitation, and that's literally an excitation of all of your brain circuits. And when they're excited, they like being excited, and you figured out a way to, whenever you are in relation to a task, to get yourself to the maximum level of stress hormones and stress existence, and your body actually likes it now. You're addicted to it. You're addicted to it. You have to break that cycle. You have to break that cycle. I really want your skill to write essays. I hate paraphrasing because the original always sounds better. Read more. Read more real books. It's the only answer that I have for you. And write more. It's like the photos. You gotta write more. How are you ever going to write good essays if you don't write essays? Start writing essays. Figure out a topic. I did think about doing that as a thing, because I've mentioned a few times my capacity for writing like argumentative essays or research essays and papers and stuff. So I was thinking maybe I'll put up a poll, and one of our days for this, what we'll do is we'll do a polly for a while, and the polly will be for an essay topic that somebody wants me to write, and I'll have to write 3 pages essentially, 3 pages with citations and research. Small, right? Small, simple, single space, 3 pages, and I'll just do it over the course of a couple of hours. I'll just do it in front of you, and I'll show you exactly what I do and how I do it, because I have a very specific process for how I write essays, and I've used it to write every essay that I've ever written, and I've gotten an A+ on every essay that I've ever written. So maybe there's something about the process, and maybe it's not just something in my brain that makes me magically good at essays. Maybe I've got some skills and some learned processes that I could transfer to you assholes and make you better at essays. That would be cool. That would be cool. Kikuri says, my main problem with sleep at the moment is I need a new bed mattress, but I just don't have the chance to update it at the moment. I slept on the floor last night, and it was the best sleep I've gotten in a week. Even though I was up too late. I slept, because I sleep on a floor mattress. I sleep on a tatami mat anyway. But I used that. That was under my feet, and I had a blanket over me, and my back on the literal floor, on the carpet. And I had a blanket over me, and then I had my weighted blanket, which I just balled up and put on my chest. Partly because I fixed a bunch of stuff in my shoulder again, and what I needed to do was to lay on a flat surface and allow my body to align itself to a real form, a flat form. So I'd recommend sleeping on the floor, man. No pillow, too. It's really interesting that it works. It really, I feel really good. Anecdotal evidence, like single experience. But a single experience that came from doing some research into sleep patterns. I might just end up, I've got a tatami mat, and I've got a futon, like a cotton stuff mattress on it. And it's sitting on a tatami mat, and I might take the futon, the fucking padding, and I might just put it to the side and sleep on a rice straw mat for the rest of my life. That might be the move. Because sitting cross-legged on a hard stone floor has been excellent for my overall physicality. And laying down on a similarly hard floor seems to have the same process, seems to have the same effect. I have over 50 scars on my... Oh, Salam says, please do, please do, please do. I believe that that's in regard to the essay thing. Okay. All right, bet. Word, dude. Yeah, word. I'll do that. Sure. Let me write it down. So I just wrote down, I will write an essay live for one of the daily brews. So I will absolutely do that. I like sleeping on the floor, but I'm scared of them bugs, lol. Fair enough. I mean, it depends on where you live. First off, I'm upstairs. So I'm not exactly on the ground, so it's not as cold. And bugs exist, but, you know, you can sleep on a hard mattress as well. I do think that most people's main problem with sleep is that they don't get sunlight in the morning. That has utterly fixed my sleep. Top to bottom, immediately. Immediately. It's the second link on the basics. It's how to fix your sleep with one simple habit. And the habit is this. Go out in the sunlight when you wake up. Stay out in the sunlight for 2 to 10 minutes. Closer to 10 if you can. Do whatever the fuck you want, but go out in the sunlight. It'll change your entire life. It will change your entire life. Your brain has millions and millions and millions of years of locking itself into a circadian rhythm based on the sun. Yo, that may properly explain why my schedule shifts to change the later the sunrise. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in England. Good luck with getting sunlight in this weather. It doesn't matter if it's cloudy. It's actually still fine. It's the differential of yellow light to blue light that comes through the clouds is totally fine. However, if you are in a cloudy area, I have seasonal affective disorder as well. I have SADS, so I get affected rather heavily by cloud cover. Until I got this. See how fucking bright that shit is? This is a daylight lamp. You can get one for $17 or so. All you have to do is look up daylight LED. Get one that's simpler, one that's just a square with a switch on it, and turn it on when you wake up. Turn it on like it's part of your alarm. I was doing this for a while. I don't have to because it's been sunny, and I've been going outside. But when it's cloudy, I turn off my alarm. And I turn this on. Bink, and it's just blasting into my face. And I'm like, I want to go back to bed. I'm laying down, and this thing's blasting in my face. It's like, I guess I'm awake. And that's the thing. It makes you awake. The blue-white light. Get a daylight lamp. It'll fix your shit. Go outside, get the sunlight. Get a daylight lamp if you can. I'm naturally nocturnal too, even when I have a perfect sleep schedule for working, it always resets after a month or two. No, you're not. You're not naturally nocturnal. Nobody is. You're a human being, and like everyone else, you are built to be awake during the day and asleep during night. Oh, that's also something that's interesting. The WHO, I just found this out the other day. The World Health Organization has designated any kind of nighttime shift work as a probable carcinogen. I don't think that's true. It's true. Sorry. You're not unique and special enough to go against your whole biology. There's no chance. There's no chance. You'd be fucked. You'd be fucked. You're not naturally nocturnal. You're fucked. During our ancestral times, there were day people and night people for night watch. That's not true either. It's not true. You force yourself. You force yourself. There are not nocturnal people. We are not nocturnal. We live during the day. It's the time that we can see. Otherwise, we would have the ability to see at night. Frankly, it's quite simple. The sun rises at 9 a.m. and I have to get up at 6 a.m. for work. Yeah, that's an issue. That's a serious issue that's impacting your sleep significantly. And it will forever until you get different work. My roommate is getting churned up right now because he's taking on more responsibility, but also his work cycle is he's getting up at like 5 a.m. and he works until like 2:30 p.m. And it's because he works in a certain kind of sales, selling things to doctors' offices, so they have to be up early so that they can get in and get calls into the doctor's offices when the doctor's office is open. And he's getting destroyed by it. And I told him that he would. About a month ago, I told him that he would, and that he would come to me in a couple of months being destroyed. And he's getting churned up. He's getting churned up, and I'm just letting it happen. Because there's nothing I can do to convince him that he needs to shift his entire work life and quit his job and go somewhere else. You know, it's just, there's no chance that that's going to happen, but it's killing him. And it's killing his relationships with his friends. It's killing his relationships with his family. It's killing his relationship with his young son. It's killing the man. He's dying because he's not getting enough sleep. And truly, you die when you don't get enough sleep. That's the first link in the basics, and the first link in the basics playlist is Matthew Walker on sleep. And, well, you don't get enough sleep, your balls get smaller, your hormone levels go out of whack, your immune system falls apart, and your DNA literally unravels. The number of changed genes between people who sleep only 6 hours a night versus people who sleep 8 hours a night is not insignificant. It's hundreds of additionally changed genes that lead to more tumor development, genes that lead to less immune system like effectiveness. Really important genes that get turned off when you're not sleeping enough or effectively enough. You gotta be in bed. And it's a sacrifice, and I hate it. I hate it because very often I'm at like my most energetic and productive in the wee hours, when it gets to be late, and it's the hardest thing in the world for me to slow down when I want to go fast. That's my struggle, is to maintain homeostasis, because at this point it used to be for me that my hardest struggle was to get going when I was slow, right? To get moving when I wanted to be doing nothing. That used to be the hardest thing. That's not the hardest thing for me anymore. The hardest thing now is to slow down when I want to go fast, because I can't go fast all the time. My body needs sleep. My brain needs sleep and needs rest. And rest is hard because it feels wrong. It feels wrong. It feels wrong to rest to some extent. It really does. But it's utterly necessary. Beyond necessary. And real rest too, not just sleep, but some rest. These last couple of days, so I haven't recorded in a couple of days. It's Saturday. I haven't recorded since Wednesday. So I'm on day 3 of missing, which is not acceptable. So I'm going to record something today. I think I'm going to record Cyberpunk. Because Friendsgiving will be happening, but I've got a few hours, so I'm going to record something. And that means that I've got to wrap this up as we hit the hour mark. These last couple of days of just rest and knowing that I wasn't going to record anything really because of Thanksgiving itself and everybody being on holiday and spending time with them. And then yesterday, mostly working in the kitchen and working on the house and stuff and getting things done for prep for today. And then today is where it all comes together, and it'll all come together with a large social gathering that will be happening today. And these last couple of days, even though my sleep hasn't been great in these days, the fact is that they've been restful days. Because I haven't been... Well, I've been putting myself under a lot of pressure these last couple of weeks to get a bunch of stuff done and to change a bunch of things. And I've been getting the pressure from externally elsewhere as well, which is good. It's really good to have... it sucks. It's friction-filled and it's painful to have a few hundred people in your Discord kind of pissed at you. Because people are kind of pissed at me because I haven't been doing some of the work that I need to be doing, and reasonably so. But it's really useful to have those people pissed at you, but it also gets to be a lot. It also really starts to overwhelm your consciousness. And so these couple of days of a bit of a break with no intent to do things, no intent to try to catch up, no intent to try to force myself, no intent to push through too much. Just take a moment, man. Take a moment. They've been really good. Really, really good. A chance to give thanks and be grateful for what is here. And for the fact that I have good work to do. And people who want my work. That's such a fun reframe of the whole thing. Is there are all these people who are sort of pissed because I haven't done some of these things. And that's actually the best thing in the entire world, isn't it? There are people who are so desirous of the product of my mind that they want of me to create things, right? That they're actually angry that I haven't been making more things. Because what a demonstration of value, right? That it actually upsets people to have removed my expression from their life. That is the same thing as saying that my expression has value. It's pretty interesting. Plus your brain gets a break from media absorption. Very true. I haven't seen any anime or any TV shows in the last couple of days at all, which is quite helpful. So very good point, Marak. Caden says, "Hey T, lately I find myself not having any patience to learn or try anything new with the exception of my job. Do you have any advice in that sense?" That's a tough one. Fostering curiosity is hard. I don't know that I have the exact grounding in that. I do know that a couple of the people that I follow do have grounding in that. Um, um, Engaging and continuously engaging your neuroplasticity in order to continue being capable of growing is really quite a powerful tool. I think it's humility to some extent is what does it. I'm not sure, but I really think that some of the core is humility, is the recognition that you don't know what how anything works, something like that. And then once you admit to yourself that you don't know how the thing works, you can know how the thing works. But the patience to learn or try anything new, the way that you phrase it, makes me think that what you're actually dealing with is an attention issue more than anything. Your job, you're capable of being attentive to because it's like, well, it's structurally fundamental to your life, and you know that if you were to fuck it up, it would have massive repercussions. But going and like reading a book, or going and learning an instrument, or going and learning a language, you don't have the clickety clack. You don't have the clickety clack into why you should do it. It's not aligned with your overall life goals. That's my guess. And then when it's not aligned with your overall life goals, you combine that with the fact that you have a smartphone, and I'll bet you have a bunch of social media apps on it, and I'll bet that you scroll through a few hundred different impactful posts every day or two. Am I wrong? Am I incorrect? Because I'll bet that you scroll through a couple, at least a few dozen. And I think a few dozen is enough. A few dozen posts on any social media, anywhere. Posts, tweets, Instagram things, porn. Porn is social media in a sense. You're scrolling through a bunch of things. YouTube even, though YouTube's a little different because it's long form and it's a little different. But a bunch of separate different things that all have your attention. And so your ability to hold your attention, to focus on things, is greatly diminished probably. And so a mindfulness practice, a meditative practice, where you just set a timer and you think about your breathing for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But 3 minutes is about where it happens. As far as I've seen, multiple meditation practices work effectively and immediately within 3 minutes per day to make you more capable of focusing on whatever you want to focus on. Okay? And you don't have to think of meditating as like sitting down in the lotus position doing a thing. You can be standing, you can be walking, you can be doing whatever. Just focus on being in the moment and breathing. Breathe effectively and focus on something. So if you're doing something like washing the dishes, for example, I think washing the dishes is a great opportunity for meditation. All you have to do is do nothing but focus on the washing of the dishes and on breathing. Or eating. Eating is a great moment for meditation. Don't do anything else while you're eating. Don't watch anything while you're eating. Don't read anything while you're eating. Just focus on the food. And the simple, very human process of putting food in your mouth, chewing it, and swallowing. Put food in your mouth, chew, swallow. Food in mouth, chew, swallow. Just do that. Try it with your next meal. It'll be hard because you'll want to wander, and you'll want to, probably you've got a system in your brain like I do, which is that every time you're going to sit down and eat, man, you better have something interesting playing so that you can utilize that time more effectively, right? Gosh, you just want to smash more stuff into all the time that you have so that you can do more things, right? You just got to be able to do more things all the time. More things. Do more. Well, that ain't it, man. Try doing less. Because really, you can only do one thing at a time effectively. One thing that you can really do effectively at one time. And so doing more is not the answer if you want to be effective. One thing. So eat. Slowly and deliberately. Or fast, I don't care. But deliberately. Or when you brush your teeth. I know that a lot of people do this, because I do this sometimes too. I go in, I put the toothpaste on my toothbrush, and I just I've got it right here. I just sort of let it go, and I'm thinking about whatever else, right? Spend 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it takes, to deliberately brush each tooth. Front, top, back. Each tooth gets a certain number of brushes. I like to go for 10, because 10 seems like the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next two. Just do that, right? Mindful about the thing that you're doing. Focused on the thing that you're doing. Because you don't have a bunch of different circuits for all the things that you do. You have one circuit for focusing on the thing that you're doing at its core. So if you focus on a thing that you're doing, you get better at focusing on things all over, everywhere. That's why meditation works. T doing the Monogatari toothbrush reenactment for his OnlyFans account. Yeah. I feel called out, like staying up late at night watching YouTube vids after work to compensate for the lost time at work. That's a big one, because you're losing that time at work, you know? You need that dose of relaxation, right? You need it. You crave it. So how do we find a way for you to get it that doesn't impact your sleep? Because you need the sleep more than you need the relaxation. How do you get both? I don't know. Yeah, I would recommend the mindfulness practice. And then Caden1578, let me grab the full video for you. I'll grab a full-ass podcast for you to listen to. It's the Huberman... Oh, God. No, don't load. Don't load. Don't load. Stop it. Okay. Thank you. It's the Huberman podcast on attention. And it has to do a lot with visual attention. Huberman attention. Sorry for keeping bringing up Huberman up. You know, I get it, but there. How to focus to change your brain.
Welcome to the Huberman.
Bam. This one. At Caden. Bam. So that one is attentiveness and how to alter your attention. It's very useful. Part of it is that literally you can do it because your visual focus, your mental focus follows your visual focus. So this is something that I heard that I'll just express as an interesting idea. It's that if you want to focus on a particular task, one of the things that you should do is to focus on an object that's at the same distance from your eye line as the task that you're going to focus on. For example, if you're trying to focus on your computer screen, you want to focus on a specific object that's the same distance away from you as your computer screen. So I might take my water bottle. My computer screen is about 3 feet away from me. I might put the water bottle about 3 feet away from me and focus directly on a point on it for about a minute. And I mean, really focus. And if my mind wanders, bring yourself back to it and really try to narrow your visual field. And you'll notice that as you do this, I can see it happening as I'm doing it. My peripheral vision is becoming less clear, and my focus upon the thing is becoming quite a bit more clear. Really focus on it. Really push yourself into looking at the thing and staring at it with intent. And then, after the 60 seconds are up, turn your attention directly to the thing that you're trying to focus on and begin. So if you're trying to write an essay, put a thing that's not your computer screen, the same distance away as your computer screen is going to be, stare at it for 60 seconds, turn to your blank paper, and begin typing. Try it. See if it works. It might engage your ability to focus. For me, I do at this point think that I am undiagnosed and have ADHD. Now, I'll say this because it's important. A self-diagnosis doesn't mean shit, but at the very least, I have a lot of the symptoms of ADHD, and that means that utilizing some of the tools that ameliorate those symptoms and help with some of the focus issues is useful to me regardless. I slip into hyperfocus and flow, and so a lot of my practice over the last couple of weeks is figuring out how to make that happen. How do I get in line with flow? Because when I'm in flow, there is zero friction between me and existence. There's a total loss of time, and it's gorgeous. It's like being one with reality. It's being all in line, aligned toward a goal and working toward that goal, and not fighting against myself and not fighting against the world. Just going. It's like being in a runner's high. You're just going. It's like, really being in a flow state while programming was what I used to seek in programming. And I would end up programming hard for like 12 hours and forgetting to eat and forgetting to do anything just because I was in such flow. And that's ADHD hyperfocus, is the ability to really focus on one thing at a time. And it's the most powerful superpower that I have, is the ability to hyperfocus. And it happens when I'm here. Right here. Doing this. This is actually the easiest way for me to get into it. I'm in it. Right now. There's little to no friction between what I'm doing and what I want to be doing. I'm doing the thing that I'd like to be doing, and that I need to be doing, and that I'm supposed to be doing, all because it's the best thing that I think I can do. And I enjoy it, and speaking is enjoyable, and it's a flow for me. Some people get into it during writing, or typing, or programming, or reading. I get into it while speaking. Have either of your parents been diagnosed with ADHD? No, but my mom has a complex set of mental dysfunctions that I would garner, and guess include ADHD and are also dramatically misdiagnosed. She has no fucking idea what's up with her, and neither does anybody else, because it's so many multiple layers, and she doesn't actually go to like real valuable therapeutic practices, as far as I can tell. But she does take treatments that are for ADHD, which is to say hard stimulants. So that's a thing. Think it might be genetic or lifestyle for her. No idea. No idea. Maybe both. She's got a lot of very classic Jewish mother traits. However, she also has borderline personality disorder. Random question: can you sell me on Symphogear? I am more compelled by Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is pretty cool. If you're compelled by it, go watch it. That's my sell. That's my sell. Here's my sell for Symphogear. Symphogear is the best shonen anime with girls and singing. It's an emotional roller coaster of passion. It's a pure passion project, top to bottom. And even when it's sort of chintzy and dinky, it's just so overflowing and overwhelming with desire to share a good message. And the message that is the core of Symphogear is a very good message. That Symphogear resonates with my heart. And that's its intent, and that's its message, actually. And so it's a piece of meta art where it is doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. Yukuri says, can I offer you one piece of advice before your date with the Dom? I don't think she's a dominatrix. She's a Dom. There's a difference. There's like a huge difference, to be clear. Is it family friendly? Is Symphogear family friendly? It depends on your family. Really depends on your family. I mean, it's not porn. It's hardly even ecchi. It's baller as hell. If it turns out to be Lucy Lawless, remember the safe word. Thank you. I will be. I'm not too worried about it. Pretty capable. I get more hyped when I know it's good. Yeah, fair enough. I think that Symphogear is a better show than Vinland Saga. I'll tell you that. I think that there's far more to get out of Symphogear than there is to get out of Vinland Saga. At least what's gone so far. And that's something that people be like, that's fucking crazy, dude. That's absurd. Well, Vinland Saga is very much a specific story. One story. Symphogear is a myth. And that means it is not a specific story. It is a story about people. Please tell me you have watched Eurotrip in the past. If not, damn, you are missing out. I feel like I have. Yeah, I've seen Eurotrip. I've seen this. There are a bunch of these early 2000s like road comedy sex comedies, and I think that they're all kind of garbage. I understand their purpose. I don't dislike them, but they're garbage. Lucy Lawless in Dom gear. I mean, all right, fair enough. I am not at all into this person's looks. I do not find Lucy Lawless attractive whatsoever. Yeah, not even a little bit. Absolutely zero to me. This happens at the gym all the time. You know, one of my friends will be like, "Damn, that girl's so cute," and I'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you on?" I'm way picky. Way picky. And that's part of the reason that I haven't dated or slept with anyone in years, because I have had some opportunities and I've turned them down because I'm picky. Maybe too picky, but so be it. Sacrilege, deal with it. I'm a heretic, deal with it. Burn me at the stake. Come on. Come on. How's the basics list going on, T? Well, you can go and look at it yourself. I think it's going well. I've reorganized it, and it's different. Also, there's the what's quite useful. You've posted some stuff. So you know what I'm talking about. Never mind. I'll check GTD, Zettel class, and then second brain. Okay, yeah. Okay. A system for storing and organizing notes. Yep. And the getting things done work-life management system. Yeah, these are all fine. These are all fine and good. I don't like them because they're too structured, frankly. I'm not interested in this kind of structuring. Probably because I'm a disorganized person. I'm sure that these are hyper useful for people. I prefer systems or fractals of systems. For example, Atomic Habits doesn't give you the systems to generate your life. It gives you the way to generate the systems. It teaches you how to teach other people how to fish. Or it teaches you how to teach yourself how to fish. And in doing so, it teaches you how to teach yourself how to do anything. Getting things done or a system like that teaches you how to organize yourself. It doesn't teach you how to learn to organize. And that's different. But I'll grab the books and I'll read them all because I need them. And part of my resistance to it is just that thing that I talked about before, which is friction, which is to say that it's hard to change your attitude toward things, especially your systems and structures. Even when your systems and structures aren't working and you should be changing them, we're stupid. We're just stupid. Have you read The 48 Laws of Power? Yes, I have. I don't like that book very much, but I like Green quite a bit, and I understand his reasons for writing it. Let me be clear. It's not that I don't like the book. The book is a masterpiece of evaluating the actions and behaviors of powerful people. It's a masterpiece of doing that. What I don't like about the book is the way that a lot of people treat the book, which is here's a guide on how to acquire power. And, well, it's a guide on how to be a real dick, is what I see. Is like, yeah, these things might be true, but I reject some of them on principle. And so, perhaps I will never become powerful. Read much Christopher Hitchens. I have to look up his name to see who that is because it tickles my brain. God is Not Great, The Missionary, Mortality, Hitch 22, The Four Horsemen, Hitchin, Dawkins, Harris, Bennett. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Polemics. Interesting. I should read more Hitchens. I think Mastery is a much better book from Green. I would believe so. I've seen a number of clips of him as he's gone more into the social media sphere, which a number of those good authors have because it's the way to accomplish reaching more of your potential audience and selling more of your books, which is quite good. And his ideas seem to be much more, much better framed than they are in Laws of Power, I think. I would recommend Obsidian Notes, which is more intuitive in terms of organization for writing and info. Very well. Just curious, what is the purpose of your live streams? To have a conversation with your audience? To get yourself in the middle between not recording and still doing something? It's a bajillion different different reasons, Hanakawa. The reason is because I said a few weeks ago that I was going to record a video every day. And I started doing it. And it's to get myself recording a video every day. And now, well, here's the issue. Is that recording a video takes the time to record the video, and then the time to edit the video, and then the time to render the video. And so it takes 3 times as long as recording a video. Oh, oops. So I decided to stream it instead, because it takes 1 time as long as streaming it. It's just streaming it, and then it's done. So it takes no extra time. So that's pretty cool. And so I've been streaming it. The fact that I get to talk back and forth with my community is pretty helpful as well. And the fact that I've been running these polls and finding out interesting things that I didn't know people cared about is very cool. So we just deep dove into not procrastinating. Having ability to learn new languages faster, I don't have that for you. I don't know. People put a bunch on public speaking. That's a cool one. That's good. That's a confidence issue. Big time. It's also a competence issue. You have to do it more. You have to speak more in public. You have to memorize speeches. You have to memorize some of them and just force it. I had the great privilege of being in speech and debate when I was young, And you should probably put your kids in speech and debate, I think, because it gives them the tools to actually speak in front of people without dying and falling apart. And that's among the most useful skills that a person can have. Draw! Well, all you need is a pencil and paper, and you don't need anything else. So why aren't you drawing yet? Choose objects in your surroundings and draw what you see, not what you think you see. Music! That's harder. I don't know. Go get music lessons, I think. Starting conversations, it just takes balls. Balls and a smile. Balls and a smile. That's it. That's all you need to start conversations with people. You just gotta have the guts to talk to them and figure out something to talk to them about. And I know it's hard, but you just have to take the step forward. You have to go. You have to move. And the part of the worry is that you'll often, especially young men, we're worried that we'll be creepy or be seen as creepy. And it's a real big worry because it's not just the rejection of the feminine; it's the rejection of the feminine and the ruination of your entire life. Because somebody can post a clip of you if you glance at a girl's butt in the gym and she catches you on camera and posts it on TikTok, and you're the worst villain in the entire world now. That's bad. So there's some fear and some worry there. But if you walk up with a smile and some confidence and some balls and something to talk about other than creepy shit or physicality or sexuality, something legitimate to talk about, you will be welcomed. You will. I find public speaking easier than talking to a single person for some reason. The level of attention that you feel back is more uncomfortable. Like making eye contact with somebody is quite uncomfortable if you're not rather confident in yourself. Because to make eye contact with them, you sort of create a link. There's like a literal link between your brain and theirs, and you're watching each other's micro expressions in the eyes as you're looking at each other. It's why if you're in a romantic engagement with somebody, you'll end up just staring into each other's eyes and not even knowing what you're doing. You're reading each other, soul to soul, like really reading each other. So when you're looking at a single person directly and eye to eye with them, you are feeling the full weight of their judgment completely, and it's quite uncomfortable. So, very well, that might be the case. When it's a crowd, you can sort of just ignore it. It just becomes a wash. It becomes a sea, even if you know that it's all individual people. Now, for some people, it's the opposite. They're more capable of and attuned to the individual level communication, and they get overwhelmed trying to communicate to all of the individuals in a crowd. At least that's how I see it. It's like, well, all these individuals in the crowd, I have to have that same level of communication with them, and you don't. You just treat the crowd like it's one entity, one mass. And so either way that you look at it, whichever one's more difficult for you, it has to do with your like level of discomfort capacity. And similarly to other things, when you're diving into discomfort, getting yourself amped for it, not calm. Speech in front of a crowd is not a calm experience. The people who are doing it well are on, man. They're wired. They're ready. They're like set. And they're, when they're being careful about what they say, they're being really careful. Watching really great public speakers give great public speeches is stellar and fascinating. Hitchens is the better Dawkins, and I like Dawkins a lot. People trying to learn languages see Steve Kaufman. He's a polyglot in 26 and has a great reason for his language teaching method. Very good. Business says some of the best conversations I've ever had were with complete strangers, as were mine. A number of the best conversations I've ever had were with old homeless men. Old, mildly drunk homeless men at midday. Some of the best conversations I've ever had. Eye-opening conversations. Really, really revelatory in multiple facets, in multiple ways. Just seeing from another person's perspective and yeah, just fascinating. I smile when nervous. I feel like it's fake. That's just normal. That's just normal. You gotta get less nervous and you gotta smile more. Physically and fake it. Oh boy. My issue is never talking to one or two people. It's when there are around 4 or 5 people or more that it gets harder for me. Very, very well. That's your tribe. It's your tribe judging you. It's why in schools, it's so crucial to call shy kids up and make them do awkward things in front of the board while everybody is staring at them. You just force them to do it. It's fucked up, but actually the idea that we don't do that enough is a problem. Kids need to be forced to stand in front of each other and speak their thoughts and get judged harshly for it. But it needs to be done in a way that doesn't divert those children away from public speaking forever. So it's hard. Staring into eyes invokes predatory instinct, so it engages contact between the two. Same reason some people deliberately avert their eyes when they are nervous. Yeah, and this is absolutely true. And likewise, if you're in a conflict-driven situation, holding eye contact for a few seconds and then breaking it off to the side instead of down is better because you're not showing submission. But if you're, for example, you're trying to tell somebody something, they're not listening to you, you say it really emphatically, you look at them for a few seconds, and you break the eye contact to the side. Because if you just hold eye contact, especially with another man, their hackles will go up. They'll really go up. But if you can, it invokes conflict instinct. It invokes those predatory instincts. But if you can hold it with somebody and you can form some level of trust with them, you'll really be able to look at them and really be able to speak eye to eye. I do it with my friends. I actually very literally ask them sometimes, please look me in the eye while we're talking about this one thing. Or I'll say, I've got a word or a phrase that I use with one of my friends, which is I just say serious mode. Serious mode, serious mode, serious mode. And I'll say it until he stops talking, or until he stops looking at his phone, or until he stops doing whatever, until he looks up at me. I'll just say, I need to speak to you in serious mode, serious mode, serious mode, serious mode, serious mode. And eventually he'll look up at me and I'll go, I really like the way that you treated your son when you did that. That was good. And I'll say it while making eye contact with him. And like, I'm expressing this directly to your soul, man. You need to hear it. Or I appreciate blank, 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 but I don't think that XYZ is the best way to go because this is also true. And it's like, you might not have this information. Here you go. And the framing has to be really careful and all of those things. But starting with the eye contact allows the real communication to happen. It's fascinating. I just don't know how to force myself, and forcing myself feels bad. I think I like drawing when I do, but it's so hard to commit to it. Take an art class. Go find a mentor. You need somebody who can guide you a little bit at the start. That's the issue that I see here. Forcing myself feels bad. I think I like drawing, but when I do, it's so hard to commit. Go take an art class. Here's the fun thing about taking an art class. You're going to meet a lot of cute people, too. Check it out. Check it out. If you're lucky, you might even get to draw some nude models, which is a very fun and awkward experience. Something that I've done a number of times is been in a classroom environment and had nude models come in and draw them. And it's actually really interesting to see how the childish idiots around you actually sober up when they're like, no, this is for real, and we're doing this for a purpose. We're not going to fuck around and this is a human being who's allowed themselves to be nude and vulnerable in front of us for our purposes. And even the jockiest, idiotist guys are like focused on the drawing part, not just on the titties and ass. Like they really get honed in and focused. It's really interesting to see. But I take a class anywhere. There's no chance that it's actually prohibitively expensive for you to go find an art course of some kind. And if you can't take a class online. Which is to say, go find some YouTube videos that are like how to basic draw. How to draw squares. Because you need to know how to draw squares. How to draw egg. I need to know how to draw eggs. And you need to draw a bunch of eggs and lacrosse balls and cups and balls and golf balls and cylinders and fucking draw forks sometimes and draw some pens and pencils. Just draw a bunch of shit and learn to draw. Saw a comment yesterday that amused me. Do you think when Pavlov heard a bell, he thought of feeding dogs? Probably. Most likely. I get nervous when someone looks me in the eye and I start stuttering, which leads me to become more nervous, and the cycle continues. That's totally reasonable. Super duper reasonable to be stuttering when somebody looks you directly in the eye. It's that you're under their judgment, right? You're under their judgment. They're capable of rejecting you as a whole. Especially the more vulnerable you are and the more open you are in that moment, the more capable they are of rejecting you. So what is confidence then? Well, it's the knowledge that you will not be rejected, and maybe perhaps something along the lines of the knowledge that if you were to be rejected, it would be their fault, not yours. It would be them making a flaw. That's something like confidence. It's arrogance, too, because arrogance and confidence are part of the same beast. But it's that feeling like, man, they could see me. They can really see me. Hell, it's Adam and Eve, you know? Vulnerability is part and parcel to humanity. We're self-aware and self-conscious. What do the first humans do in the Garden of Eden as soon as they've eaten of the fruit of good and evil and they know about good and evil? They know about their own capacity for harm? They cover themselves, right? They cover themselves, and they are afraid, and they are vulnerable. They realize that they are naked, and they cover themselves. Well, you looking somebody in the eye is nakedness, it's honesty, it's openness, and it makes you feel vulnerable. And so you stutter, and you look away because you're trying to cover yourself. Because you're vulnerable, and weak, and human, and you have flaws, and you might hate some elements of yourself. You might have some elements of yourself that you'd really prefer that person who's looking you in the eyes doesn't see. It's really the development of death consciousness. Yeah, exactly. You're aware of your own vulnerability and your own capacity to die, that you can die. But it's also overall vulnerability. It's being seen and judged because we're social animals, right? Our awakenedness came from socialization. The major problem when speaking to someone, for me, is finding topics to talk about. Then you need to read more. I'm a college dropout. I don't think I can ask my mom about that. I have some health problems that prevent me from finding any kind of work at the moment. I also can't talk with people properly. Therapy. Now. When you say, I don't think I could ask my mom about that, what do you mean? Also, I can't read your name because it's in Cyrillic, so I'm gonna... Andrew? Andrew. Yeah, I'd really like to know what you mean by I don't think I could ask my mom about that. About taking art classes. Got it. Okay, well then I'll do this for you then. Because you've got too much friction to do it yourself, so I'm going to reduce your friction a bunch. And I'm going to try to make you do a thing. Yep. There you go. This is going to be hard to pick your name. There you go. I had to copy paste your name. Here. I haven't seen this, but I think it's pretty good. I just looked through it. Start watching. Andrew? If that's your name, start watching. There you go. Latest chapter of Hoseki came out yesterday and had a great quote in it. I may not be perfect to you, but I'm plenty good enough to myself. Good. That's how it should be. You're the only judge. You're the only judge for your own life. Line face, wow, very specific, question mark. What are you talking about, Hui Nguyen? What are you talking about? Sorry, have I missed something? Do I need to go to live chat? Hoseki no Kuni? Is there an English title? Land of the Lustrous. His circumstances, got it. At the start, drawing can be very overwhelming. I would suggest to every newcomers to take classes, at least for the very first few months. I agree. So what I'll do is now that I've actually given that to you and said that it's probably good, let me pull it up and let's look at it. This is an hour and a half lesson, okay, on Markowski art. Art supply buying guide is when the stream starts, is when he started teaching.
Let me see. So, I want to make a drawing of that. So let's flip to this drawing just like that. To the grocery store.
Oh, his mustache is amazing. Oh, and there's live chat. Amazing.
Is the version, and
then, he's doing a full course.
Some reason why I do this.
Yep.
Is,
full course, right? Basic shape generation.
Hard on herself.
Teaching yourself how to make different shapes and lines and stuff by creating fun patterns. That's a great way to do it. As sets of exercises, reproducing doodles. Picasso's guitar, so producing forms and shapes that don't necessarily make sense, is very valuable. And this is training you to reproduce from what you see on flat surface onto flat surface. And if he's any good, he'll immediately go into producing what you can't see on a flat surface, things that you see three-dimensionally, and then turning them into things that you... Yep, there you go. Starting to generate three-dimensional objects. And drawing the things that are in your mind, or how they might sit together, and then so then into free lines, and so there's like you can draw a curved line that's sort of an S shape. It's not really a spine, but it's the core movement line of the character, and then shoulder and hip, and that's like the basic framing that you use for all classical humanoid art. This is very good. And he's talking about blind drawing, which is look away and just allow your hand to do the work, which is quite good as well. I like this quite a bit. I think this guy has absolutely got it down, and this is literally a class, and it's all free. Look at it. It's all free. How to hatch, how to create different levels of shading, how to use different pencils and techniques to create and different types of pencils and different holds of pencils. Fantastic. Volume and dimension from shading, 1 point perspective. Look, 1 point perspective, single point perspective. Down further is going to be multiple point perspectives, male bodies, female bodies, using block-in envelopes, portraits, lips, mouths, ears, 3/4 view of a face. All of this starting from doodles, cubes, cylinders, shading, and perspective. Beautiful. That's exactly what you need. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch the whole fucking lesson. Get some paper with you. At the start, drawing can be overwhelming. Take classes. Well, guess what? You can take a full art class that, as far as I can tell, from what I just saw, is as good or better than art classes that cost thousands of dollars. As good or better than work that costs thousands of dollars. You can just learn for free on the internet. Go. Be gone. Be gone, my child. Enjoy. Because I am a small man, my heart is moved by what's in front of my eyes, not by what the world needs. I just can't abandon what's there in front of me. I want to protect everything I can. My favorite quote, D. Grayman. Yeah, I watched some of it. I liked some of it for D. Grayman. I just haven't watched a lot of it. Regardless, that's my answer is go watch that art playlist. It's the shit, dude. Exercise and fast typing come up on the list. Having fun doing chores, speed reading, navigating conflict, speaking Japanese, ambidexterity. I don't know if you can learn that, actually. Enjoying the little things, that's mindfulness. Fixing plumbing and electrical, yep, sure. Leadership, I don't know how to do that. I'm learning. Being able to learn faster and not be distracted, that's a distraction and attention thing. Sewing and tailoring, all you got to do is get the kit and start working. Memorization, practice, but there are also some skill things that I don't know how to do. Proper study habits, what does that even mean? Playing guitar and singing, that's more music. Self-introspection, you just got to do it. You got to sit there quietly and think about yourself. Actually, what you got to do is just be aware of the thoughts that come into your head. You have, okay, so I'll frame it this way. There's a dialogue inside your brain, always. And there are two voices, at least. What do they say to each other? Specifically, what do they say about you? What do they say about you? Do they say, man, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe I did that stupid shit. Such a dumbass. God, fucking fat asshole. Stupid fucking moron. Man, your mom was right. You really do suck at all this shit. Because a lot of people's inner dialogues go that way. So, watch yourself and watch what you think about yourself. You'll find out who you are really fast. And then, once you're aware of it, you can start actively changing it. So when it goes, man, I'm such a fucking idiot, you can go, wait, hold on. I just made a mistake, man. I'm not an idiot because I dropped a cup. You know, you're walking and a cup slips out of your hand and it shatters on the floor. It's like, fuck, I'm a moron. I'm the worst human being. I deserve to be hung up on a cross and burned and shot at the same time. But not shot in the chest or in the head. Like, shot, one finger shot off at a time for maximum pain. That's what I deserve because I dropped a cup. It's like, fucking no. No. If you observe yourself doing those sorts of things, you can take a step back and go, hold on. I dropped a cup. It's not the end of the world. Shit happens. I'm just tired. I'm going to be better next time and I'll be more aware of it. Done. Internet was a revolutionary invention. Yes. Yes. I also recommend Fun with a Pencil by Andrew Loomis. It's pretty good for beginners. Yeah, and I've got I've got this one. This is a Preston Blair on animation, on cartoon animation. I've got another Preston Blair on animation. But this does a lot of the breaking down for the basics of like cartoony art. These kinds of books can be really helpful for generating expressiveness and such like. And of course this is Preston Blair stuff, so really core animatables. That kind of knowledge is spectacular. It's excellent. My parents used to call me Cliffy whenever I broke something. Apparently it was a character who always messed up in the show they were in. That sounds like a fucked up thing for your parents to do. Is to continuously reinforce how clumsy you are. And not teach you how to handle that. Seems kind of fucked up. But, you know, everyone does different things. Yeah, my parents are great. Ayo. Can't learn ambidexterity per se. All done in jest. Okay, good. Good. Then that's good. Like, taking it lightly and sort of like, haha, no problem, and going along with it is exactly right. I did this with the kid who was here. His dad wasn't around. His abue, his grandma, was around, but he peed his pants, and I was around. And she started to slip into, oh no, oh god, well, you peed. And I went up to him and I was like, big smile, like, oh, you peed your pants. Is that okay? Are you okay? You feeling good? Yeah, that's fine, man. No worries. We can always wash the pants. It's all good. And just convert it from a moment of desperation and fear and anxiety and feeling like shit because you pissed yourself because it's embarrassing, to a moment of like, well, kid, shit happens. This is normal. Let's move on. We got him cleaned up, got him into new clothes, and off he went playing, right? Like, he then peed his pants in front of the kid to make the kid feel better. Isn't that The Water Boy or something? That's an Adam Sandler move, isn't it? He splashes some, or is that in no, it's the two guys and there's like a LARP camp and he splashes some water on his pants to make himself look like he peed himself. But then it becomes a double joke because a bunch of like hot girls see him and he's like, no, it's just water. I was doing a thing, and they're like, all right, buddy, whatever. Oh my god, fucking adult peeing his pants. You know, whatever. I remember that being a thing in a movie. Movie pee pants make kid feel better. God, that's gonna be a weird Google search, isn't it? Billy pees his pants. It's Billy Madison. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was exactly it. Let's hope this isn't the kink the Dom likes that you are dating. Dude, I'm not dating this person. I'm going on a date with this person. There's a huge difference. But regardless. Okay, we are heading toward which is dating. No, it isn't. It's going on a date. When you are dating, it's like you are dating. Very different things. Like there are few things that are more different than going on a date with somebody versus dating somebody. The two are very different. I'm not dating this person. I've never met her. I think it's seeing someone. Well, I'm not seeing her because I haven't seen her yet. That would indicate the process of seeing. How many dates until it becomes dating? Well, if it's 1 into 2, that might be dating. But it's dating is a process of being in the dating, right? And I'm not there. Doesn't fit. how many days till? It's exactly that. It's 1 into 2. Oh, you've been live for a while. Indeed, I have. And I'm going to be unlive quite soon. 10 a.m. every day, Iggy. If you want to catch tomorrow, I'll be on at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. every fucking day, streaming live for an indeterminate period of time. In any case, I'm gonna wrap this here, guys. Right around this point, I'm gonna wrap up the brew for the day. Thank you all for coming and joining me for this morning. It's been a small one. I think that's because it's Saturday and people are probably still asleep. Sorry, what? Do you feel like that's sustainable? Do I feel like which is sustainable? Coming in and doing the brew? Yeah. Well, I've had a couple that I've just done like, and I'm gone, and those have been fine. I've had some that have been shorter. Any brew tomorrow or a day off? We'll see. That will really depend. Today is a big, like, kind of, it's Turkey Day, and there will be some socialization and maybe some partying and stuff, and I might have alcohol, but I probably won't. So we'll see, but the goal is to have a brew tomorrow. The goal is every day, no breaks. And to answer Business's feelings, I do feel like it's sustainable, but we'll see. It still is impacting my ability to do the other things that I need to do, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a lovely day. Go foster a skill. Art or music, or do a push-up. Put one thing... I already put away most of the things on my desk. Sick. Put one thing on your desk away. And have a lovely time and peace. And as always, I really mean it.